Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're looking at some of the most shocking and intense crashes in Formula One history. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay updated on all things F1. Formula One, one of the most thrilling and dangerous sports in the world, has seen some of the most heart-stopping crashes in motorsport history. These crashes often bring the speed, skill, and the perilous nature of F1 into sharp focus. While technology and safety improvements have significantly reduced fatalities, these crashes remain unforgettable moments in F1's storied history. Here's a look at some of the most significant and shocking crashes in Formula One history. 10. Pierre Gasly, Japan, 2022. In 2022, Pierre Gasly was involved in a near-miss crash at the Japanese Grand Prix, where his AlphaTauri went dangerously close to a recovery vehicle that was attending to an accident. Gasly's reaction was one of shock and disbelief, as the near collision highlighted the dangers of allowing recovery vehicles on the track during racing conditions. The incident triggered renewed discussions within the F1 community about improving protocols to prevent such incidents. 9. Fernando Alonso, Bahrain, 2005. Fernando Alonso's crash in the 2005 Bahrain Grand Prix is remembered for both its severity and the drama it created. The young driver, who was racing for Renault, suffered a high-speed spin and was unable to regain control of his car, which ultimately ended up in the gravel trap. Although Alonso wasn't seriously injured, the crash marked a turning point in the evolution of car safety, especially concerning the role of tires in aerodynamics. 8. Mika Hakkinen, Adelaide, 1995. Mika Hakkinen, who would later become a two-time Formula One world champion, experienced a terrifying crash during the 1995 Australian Grand Prix in Adelaide. Hakkinen's McLaren suffered a high-speed crash when he lost control of his car at Turn 4, slamming into the barriers. The impact was severe, and Hakkinen was knocked unconscious, leading to a lengthy recovery period. The crash underscored the importance of improving cockpit safety and driver protection, which were areas of focus in the years that followed. 7. Fernando Alonso, Australian Grand Prix 2016. During the 2016 Australian Grand Prix, Fernando Alonso was involved in one of the scariest crashes of the modern era. After a touch with Esteban Gutierrez's Haas, Alonso's McLaren flew into the air, rolling over multiple times before crashing heavily into the barriers. Remarkably, Alonso walked away from the crash unscathed, and the incident became a demonstration of just how far F1 cars have come in terms of safety. The crash highlighted the importance of the car's crash structures, which absorbed the impact and ensured the driver's survival. 6. Dan Wheldon, Las Vegas 2011, IndyCar. While this incident did not take place in an F1 race, Dan Wheldon's tragic crash in the 2011 IndyCar World Championship race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway is worth mentioning due to its impact on motorsport safety as a whole. Wheldon's crash in a multi-car pileup resulted in his death and served as a stark reminder of the risks drivers face. The crash prompted both the IndyCar Series and Formula One to re-evaluate their safety protocols, including car designs, helmets, and trackside barriers. 5. Robert Kubica, Canada 2007. Robert Kubica's crash at the 2007 Canadian Grand Prix is widely considered one of the most miraculous survivals in F1 history. The polished driver lost control of his BMW Sauber while exiting the final chicane and smashed into the guardrails at an estimated 75 miles per hour. His car then ricocheted back onto the track, spinning multiple times before coming to a halt. Given the extreme nature of the crash and the violent impact, many observers were surprised that Kubica walked away with relatively few injuries. This crash underscored the immense improvements in F1 car safety, including the strength of the cockpit and the advanced crash structures designed to protect drivers in even the most severe crashes. 4. Niki Lauda, Nürburgring 1976. Niki Lauda's crash at the 1976 German Grand Prix at the Nürburgring is one of the most famous and harrowing accidents in F1 history. Lauda, who was racing for Ferrari at the time, lost control of his car after it ran off the track and crashed into a fence. The car caught fire, and Lauda was trapped inside, suffering severe burns to his face, head, and lungs. He was rescued by fellow drivers, including Jackie Stewart, who were the first to rush to his aid. Lauda spent weeks in the hospital, and despite the severity of his injuries, made a miraculous recovery. Lauda's crash and subsequent recovery were immortalized in the movie Rush 2013, which depicted the fierce rivalry between Lauda and James Hunt that defined the 1976 season. 3. Jules Bianchi, Suzuka 2014. Jules Bianchi's crash at the 2014 Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka is another tragic incident in F1 history. On wet track, Bianchi lost control of his Marussia and collided with a recovery vehicle that was removing Adrian Sutil's stricken Sauber from the track. The crash resulted in severe head injuries, and Bianchi was placed in a medically induced coma for several months before ultimately passing away in 2015. The loss of Bianchi, who was considered a rising star in the sport, shook the F1 world profoundly and raised questions about trackside safety. 2. Michael Schumacher, Silverstone 1999. Michael Schumacher's career, marked by dominance and multiple world championships, was nearly cut short by a serious crash during the 1999 British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Schumacher, driving for Ferrari at the time, suffered a crash when his car's rear wheel hit the barriers after losing control in the Fast Maggotts/Beckett's complex. The impact broke his leg in 2 places, and he was immediately airlifted to the hospital. His injury kept him out of action for much of the 1999 season, and it was a wake-up call for the F1 community regarding the severity of injuries that could be sustained even in seemingly less violent accidents. 1. Ayrton Senna, Imola 1994. One of the most tragic and significant crashes in F1 history occurred during the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix, when Brazilian driver Ayrton Senna lost his life. Senna, a 3-time world champion, was racing for Williams Renault when he crashed into a concrete wall at high speed on the 7th lap of the race. His car hit the wall at around 200 miles per hour, and the impact caused fatal head injuries. The crash occurred just a day after the death of Senna's compatriot, Roland Ratzenberger, which deeply affected the F1 community. The loss of Senna, who was widely regarded as one of the greatest F1 drivers ever, remains one of the sport's darkest moments. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Also subscribe to our channel before you go. Thanks for watching.